we started the other thing off with, it's bad, then no, it's good. And then we did this, and we did the same thing. I started to do in the interior. We did the good and the bad, the good and the bad, the good and the bad.
Oh, we kept going back and forth.
Welcome to the first ever 2023 Toyota GR Corolla. And you've probably been on the internet and you've probably seen a bunch of videos on this sucker. It's not the first one you've ever seen. And you've probably seen universal praise. And you might think, it's either a really good car or people are lying to you. I'm here to tell you, we got the truth. The truth is, you're driving the sucker, you're doing your GR things, and you get tired and you want to rest your arm and oh, no, you don't rest your arm. There's nothing. There's no center armrest. Come on, what are we doing? That's pretty much it. The rest of it's freaking awesome. Brian, I want to show you something here. Look at this. Well, you've got all these cool modes. You can switch it real quick. You can go to sport. Here's what you do. You put it in sport. You hit traction off. Look at that. Everything is off immediately.
Expert.
We're good to go. And it even knows what kind of driver you are. So that's awesome. And then you go right here. You can switch the dials. You've got front, rear biased, or track mode. So front will put you in 60/40, which is what it shows right there. Rear will put you in 30/70, and then track, it just says track, but that's 50/50. And then right here, the shifter, very handy. It's crisp. It's got a nice solid, when you get into gear, it's the satisfying.
Positive engagement.
Positive engagement. It feels really good.
You know exactly where it's at.
And then the steering wheel itself is just in a good spot, and the pedals, you know, they could be a little bit better for heel toe. There's this pedal's a little farther back, but look, they work. It's freaking awesome. The clutch engagement's really good. Enough of that, Brian. I want you to tell the people about what's under the hood, and let's do a little walk around.
Let's roll. All right, on to the important stuff, Craig. We're gonna get right to it. That is, oh, where is it really? Oh, there it is. Okay, user error. All the magic right here. This is the turbo 3-cylinder 1.6 liter. It's good for 300 horsepower and 273 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is a screaming ripper. And what I mean by that is this turbo is not some baby little 1.4, all the boost at 1900 RPM. It doesn't come on full boost till about 4 or 4200 RPM in our experience. And it's awesome because of that. It's like an 80s turbo. It runs all the way out, never runs out of breath. I'm contrasting this to our long-term Velociter N that does an okay job at that. This does a way better job at that. Love it. Now around town, you need to keep yourself revved up. You can't put around at 2000 RPM around town. You got to get the RPM up, be a gear lower at all times. That's the answer. Now, air intake. Look how small this little funnel is. This is a snorkel to get good cool air at the front behind the headlight and the grill. That's cool, but that's really dinky and tiny. So what do you do to get more volume when you floor it? Right here, this is a butterfly valve that opens right there. This is a vacuum gauge. It's a door right here, a flap that opens wide open to almost triple the air volume going to that air box. It's still filtered. And look, it's awesome, and it sounds good too. You get tons of positive turbo, whooshy, blow-offy sound noises to the point that I would not put an intake on it if I bought this. Doesn't need it. They've given you the goodness from the factory. Now, look, hate to break it to you, it's a Corolla. But the good news is it looks like Osbo's old Corolla or Ryan Turek's Drift Corolla today. This nose was actually debuted 2 years ago on Ryan Turek's car, and it's the same design as this. Factory. No one talked about it then. Toyota was very sly about it. Like, oh, no, we're just putting a new face. It's a drift specific face. That's what we get here. Come around the side. Obviously, this has rally car roots, which we'll talk about in just a second. That's where this dirt is from. 18-inch wheels. These are alloys. These are not forged, but you can get forged wheels on the Morizo trim further up the line. Pilot Sport 4s. These are awesome. This is a great tire all around. We played in the dirt a little bit. It's not a rally tire, but it's a very forgiving tire when you do track stuff and back road boogieing. It's one of my favorite things about this car.
I wouldn't get a grippier tire.
I would not. With all-wheel drive, you want it to be playful. It's just playful enough. In fact, we've driven the Morizo on track. We didn't film it because it wasn't as fun as this one to me. This one has a little motion, has just enough play, and a lot of feedback to the driver. You never feel them about it. Air vents right here. We got them. They function. Brakes. They're massive. Dual hat. So you've got a aluminum cast hat and then a steel rotor. It is slotted, and they are 4-pot monoblock, which means they have a lot of heat dissipation and they work. I've had no problem with those at all. Coming down the side, one of my favorite things is right here. GR4. Reminds you of the old all-wheel drive Celicas that we didn't get many of in the States, really most were imported. That's rally spec right there. And that's really what we want to talk about when we drive this thing is that the origins of this car really are rally. WRC is what made this thing possible. Coming out back, you have the wide body fender. Look at how this steps out. That's what your normal Corolla does not have, and that's the muscle that comes with it. It's all because of the increased rear track width that comes with all-wheel drive. One more thing to show you, the exhaust. How many tips do you have, Craig?
Oh, 2, right? Because
No,
right, 2.
3.
Oh, 3.
1 per cylinder. That's freaking awesome. I love that. Let's see what it sounds like real quick. All right, with all that covered, let's go drive this thing.
All right, Brian. This thing is a laugher.
Okay,
we are ready to launch it because it's so much fun. Hit it.
One and 2, 60 right there.
All right, 5.57.
Oh my God.
So, Brian, what's happened is we've done a bunch of launches in this car trying to get a good time, and Brian has not been able to figure it out. He keeps missing shifts. And what happened there is he just kind of backed off a little bit. Instead of going 11/10s like a monkey, he went 9/10s like a responsible human being, and he got his best time
The
of the
best
day.
time yet. And by the way, the best motor trend to stand of this is 5.4. So we're
Right.
at 5.5. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take
pretty
that
good.
number. Okay.
Okay, Brian, just the GR goodness, give it to me.
Well, first of all, we've got some problems in here.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah, there's no
What,
armrest.
next?
It's not a great hatch.
Yeah.
Everything else is awesome.
Yeah,
Who
everything's
cares?
awesome. Yeah,
Look,
no one cares about any
no
other
one
crap.
cares. Look, I want to get this out of the way. When you see GR on a modern car, well, GR at all, on a Toyota, it's like Raptor on a Ford product.
Or what M used to be on a BMW.
Thank you. Absolutely. That's a good point. Or N for Hyundai. It's
Yeah.
their best driving model.
And there's something actually different about it.
Absolutely. This is different from a normal Corolla because it has the Yaris straight out of WRC rear suspension design, all-wheel drive and center clutch and everything. This motor is mounted this way, and it will send up to 70% of the power to the rear. And we can attest, even on pavement, my God, you've got to go past the limit, but it will oversteer on power.
You can do donuts.
Allegedly. And actually. Anyway,
Yeah.
So also this has the optional performance pack, which means it has a center and rear torque and diff, which helps put all that power to the ground, and it weighs 10 pounds heavier because of that.
Highly recommend the performance pack.
Absolutely, 100%. Now let's talk about the other goodness, Craig. Brakes are huge.
Oh, man.
I don't think this thing, look, I haven't rated the brakes at all. We've done track days with this.
We've pushed this sucker, and not once did I get to a point where like, okay, I got to look at the brakes a minute.
Right, never has happened. All that aside, driver inputs is really what I think GR is really good at. And that is the same thing with the 86. It's similar to the Super, but not quite as good. But this and the 86, you jump in and you feel like you've owned it for a while. The learning curve is non-existent.
Look, from switching the modes to turn the traction control, everything's just quick, bang, bang.
let's
I
go,
know
go,
to have
go,
fun.
go, go.
Or
Right.
no, I just want to go back to a normal mode. I go back to normal mode.
And that's it.
I want to switch the drive line. I just one switch. I don't have to go through any menus and buried in a setting.
Good point.
Boom, it's there. Boom, it's there.
And it's hard keys. Toyota's good about hard keys. It's there. Like you said, it's not buried in a screen.
It is designed for the driver that wants to just have fun and they don't want to think too hard about it. They just want to get in and go.
Right. And I also want to go back to the base modes are not that far from what your sport modes would be anyways. You've got static dampers on this. They're like, don't mess that up. Just make it good all the time.
Right.
And it works. Now, around town, it can be a little choppy. Worth it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's worth it. Because when you push this on track or on a back road, it feels like an extension of your hand. You know where every wheel is at. It's solid.
Brian, speaking of the track or back road, I took it on some dirt roads.
Tell me about it.
And this sucker is here's what this is. It's what the Focus RS should have been.
Thank you.
And it's a WRX killer.
Agreed.
Because on the dirt roads, all the vehicles I've taken on dirt roads, Bronco Raptors, TRXs,
Oh, yeah.
Ranger Trimmers.
Full-size Raptors.
I've had a lot of fun on dirt roads. 02s. I've had more fun in this than anything else because it's nimble, it's light, it's got quick steering. I can huck it through a corner,
And
I've
all-wheel
got
drive.
confidence. The all-wheel drive in the
push it
30-70 split, I can controllably go through a turn
And oversteer.
and oversteer it,
Right.
and actually have control doing that. So much fun.
Okay, I want to talk about some competition because you brought up WRX.
Yep.
The WRX STI, the last one they made, I get the vibes of that when I'm rowing gears in this. It feels that good. And this is a sideways mounted motor again, remind you that. The difference between this and the STI or any WRX I've driven is this does not understeer at all.
Right.
And that is all about
It's
tuning.
neutral or oversteer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even in the 60 front, 40 rear, it still just doesn't do it.
Right.
I'm so happy with that. That's the kind of stuff that makes you comfortable as a driver. Now, competition, I do want to get into that a little bit. We have a Velociter N that's in our fleet that we get familiar with. And I just immediately, the Velociter is like, oh, okay, this is purposely fun. They worked really hard to make sure it's a laugh to drive, and it's doing pops and crackles and things like that. I don't know that that makes it a better car to drive. This is just good and nothing else.
Right.
There's no artificial exhaust. This is just what it sounds like.
Right.
You hear the turbos because it's turbocharged.
Yes.
And they haven't purposely made it disappear.
It doesn't seem simulated or artificial.
Exactly. That's from.
And that's hard to get in a new car today.
Absolutely. I can't think of enough for that. Toyota, GR, anyone working on this, be proud.
And here, last but not least, you can put it in eco mode and drive it normal at speed limits.
Supposedly.
Those that actually do that in this car, you're not going to want to because it just wants to go. And you get 32 miles a gallon, 33. I got 33 miles a gallon driving home yesterday.
God bless you for having the willpower to not just rip this thing.
It was so hard.
Now, let's close on this. We've driven a lot of cars. We've owned a lot of stupid things over the years. Things that should get you in jail. This might be the most dangerous car for me to spend time in because I don't know what happens.
This car is dangerous.
I black out and I go, oh, we're doing triple the speed. Oh, crap. And you bring it back down. You don't even realize it. It is just so natural and so happy to do it. It is the quietest bad influence I've ever driven.
And that's why it's dangerous. It's a bad influence.
Right.
It wants to take your money because you want to buy it.
Right.
And it just makes you want to go really fast and get you a speeding ticket. It just wants to play. And look, we kind of joked about the faults of this car. Sure, there's more faults, but we're not here to review a Corolla.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's completely irrelevant.
And everybody else you've seen on the internet that says it's really good, it's that good. We're here to confirm all that.
Yeah, they're right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Can't wait to drive the next GR product because there's more coming.
See you next time.